Hi there, it's Natasha and thank you so much for joining me today. This is the stamp set that we're going to be kind of focusing on. I'm going to use all of the flowers in just that one leaf. I have put all of those on my Tim Holtz stamping platform, and I'm going to be stamping them on black paper today. This was the aim of my cards. I wanted to do something with colour on black. And every time I open my drawer, I go past my gelatos because they are something that I used to use, maybe more so in mixed media than card making. They were kind of more popular a few years ago, and I pretty much go past them now. I don't use them too often, and that is kind of what sparked this video. So I have stamped them with some sticky embossing ink onto some black paper, and I am just stamping a couple of extra leaves because I know I'm going to need some more. I've used some white embossing powder, some fine detail one, and I'm just going to cover those extra few leaves that I stamped on there and use my heat gun to melt all of that embossing powder. Now these are the gelatos that I'm going to use. Now, side note, not all gelatos work and will show up nicely on black paper. These are the 5 that I had, and I listed them there for you, that I found worked really well and showed up. And it happened to be the metallic ones, as well as maybe the silver one. I think the others are like metallic mint and all those names that I had up before. I am so simply mushing them down with some water and kind of turning them into a little bit of a paste. You could definitely do this with so many other products. I really just had my gelatos there, and as I said, I go past them all the time. And so, yeah, I just wanted to find a project to use them, and I wanted to do something on black. So that was how this came about. So I am just adding the colour into the leaves. There is no shading, no nothing, just straight blobbing the colour straight in. So anybody can do this. It's just putting colour on top of the black paper. And so I'm going to do some of the flowers, all 3 colours. I think I ended up not using the pink one. I didn't like that quite as much. So I'm just using the silver, the purple, and the blue for the flowers, and then obviously I'm doing the leaves in the green. Now, I wanted to work with black paper today, however, this would look great on lots of colours. I mean, you could do this exactly the same on white, or you could use some sort of silver metallic card, and then you could use normal gelatos. That could look really cool too, or you could just use normal colours and add some perfect pearls to it. Or you could use any medium, any other medium that you can think of or that you have available. It doesn't have to be gelatos at all. So I'm cutting I have a card base of a 110 pound Nina Solar white card base, and then I'm just cutting a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of card matte, which is going to be in the black color. Now I have all of the matching dies for these, and it's handy because these dies come with 2 of each die, each size flower, sorry. So it does make it go quite quick, which is good. And I'm going to run them through. I still need to run them through a couple of times because I stamped them all a few times, but that's okay. One thing I do really like about these dies is that they don't cut quite on the edge, but they don't leave a big border around the flowers. Next up, I'm going to use this Happy Birthday, and this is what the set of 4 of them look like. And I am going to cut that out in a black and a white, so the background is going to be black, and the Happy Birthday is going to be white. And then after this, it's pretty much a case of assembling it. The only other thing that I thought I would do for some detail is run the black matte piece through with an embossing folder just to give it a little more interest in the background. So I know it's hard for you guys to see, but if I tilt it there, you can kind of see the nice stripes in the background. I picked up these foam dots from Aliexpress as well, and they are black, which I am really glad to use today because I think white would just it just shows a little bit much from the sides on a card that has so much black on it. So I am happy to use these black dots up. And then I'm just doing a sort of rough arrangement of where I want these flowers to sit. Give or take, I want them to be tumbling down the side and fill up that bottom left-hand corner. I am going to cut up some of these foam pieces just so that I can fit them behind various flowers and things. and some of these flowers will be popped up and some of them will be flat. So I'm just going to use my liquid glue, and this glue bottle is from Aliexpress as well. I will link them down below in case you're interested. And I am just going to squirt a little bit of liquid glue behind some. Some I'll pop up with one foam dot, and others I will pop a couple of pieces of foam behind it. So I've pretty much put it all together. I skipped through a little bit just so that you guys didn't have to sit there. But in general, you can see that the flowers have a really nice shine to them and there's some good dimension on the card. So what I do want to do is just add these last couple of leaves, and I add all of these flat. I could have added some with foam, but I didn't feel like there was a need because the flowers were already pretty popped up. So I'm just popping them in there, and then what I'm going to do is mostly I'm going to turn it around from the back and cut off all of those flowers that are hanging over the edge. I just think this kind of gives it a more refined look, and you can really see the nice clean edges of the card. I've popped the sentiment on there, and then I'm going to add quite a lot of liquid glue to adhere it to my card base. And that is the finished card. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this card, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, bye!